Hey guys, welcome to today's video. So today we're going to be talking about 3 dangers of perfectionism. So this is a follow-up video to my previous video on what perfectionism is and why you shouldn't or how to overcome it. So this is a part 2, and I wanted to start with one of the very first traits that you would notice about perfectionists. So one of the very first things is that they tend to be very critical of themselves and also critical of others. So because a perfectionist wants something to be done perfectly and they have that expectation from themselves, they transfer or project that same expectations to others. And so when you're doing something for them, or they ask you to do something and it's not done up to their standards, it's a problem. And not so much in the way that, or rather it's the problem manifests in the way that they respond to that, right? So a healthy human being, I wanted to say normal human being, but we're all normal. A healthy human being will tend to appreciate that first, and then if they have any comments, they might say something. But what tends to happen when you're coming from a perfectionist mindset is you might go into that criticism mode where you're just criticizing this and criticizing that. And I know this because but anyways, and the danger of that, of course, is that you're going to find it hard in building relationships because nobody wants to be around somebody that's very critical in the first place, right? It's not a good energy to be around. So that's one of the main things that I wanted to start with. The second thing is that perfectionists usually have a poor self-image because they have these expectations of themselves, and because the expectations are often they're often unrealistic. Most of the time they're often realistic because no human being is perfect. So when they don't meet those expectations, it reflects, or they think that it's a reflection on themselves. So they think that they're not good enough. They think that they're not worthy enough. And a lot of perfectionists tend to have very low self-esteem as a result of what I just explained. So even though they may come across as high achievers, people that have high level of expertise in certain areas, they tend to have very low self-esteem because they're always constantly judging themselves against this standard that's there that they have created in your mind. And because no human being is perfect, it's kind of like a treadmill for them, just kind of running around the wheels and trying to chase something that is not sustainable. So the third thing that you would notice if you are a perfectionist, or someone who's a perfectionist, is that they're often burned out. See, it takes a lot of energy to always try to meet a certain standard. The energy to do the work, the energy that you exhaust in your thoughts trying to be perfect, the energy that is exhausted when you don't meet those expectations. It's like you are grinding your will 24/7, even when you're not doing things physically. In your mind here, your thoughts are grinding your energy. And so what you're going to notice is that your energy is going to be low most of the time. And in addition to the low morale caused by you constantly judging yourself, but you're also expending energy just by playing that role of trying to be perfect. So if you think about it, it's like it almost feels like you're in a prison by yourself. You've kept yourself in a prison. You're trying to break out, and because you are the one that created that prison for yourself, it wasn't created by another person. You're the only one that can get yourself out, and if you're not able to get yourself out, then you're trying to, which takes energy to do so. So it's quite unfortunate when you look at it from that standpoint, and because of that, it then reflects in the way that they relate with people. So it's like a cycle, right? So the way you think about yourself, the way you see yourself, and then you project that on other people and expect them to do the same thing as well. So it's really quite unfortunate, the battles that perfectionists are fighting every day. Okay, so those were my quick three traits that you would notice about perfectionists. There are more, but these are the top three that I've noticed around that I've noticed around me. So the next video that I'm gonna do is, how do you deal with this? If this is something that you're struggling with, or you've continued to battle with your whole life, how do you get out of it? So I'm going to share some of the tips that help me to overcome this. Other than that, I'll see you in my next video.